So, hello, beautiful people. So, I just wanted to talk about how I started doing meditation this week, and I've also started a detox. So, I haven't been drinking for 3 days. My goal is to go a month where I do a detox, where I try to aim at eating healthy as I can, cut out alcohol, cut out Advil PM sleeping pills, and then drink more water and meditate. I don't know if I'll be good every day, but past 3 days I've started this. There's definitely other areas of my life I can improve on. For example, my motivation is needs to improve because I really should be concerned about my job and I should really work on my work performance. But anyway, so there's been some interesting things with the meditation. Now I'm very much of a beginner in meditation. I had meditated before, but I really didn't know what I was doing. I've only gone through one guided meditation in my entire life, and that was in high school. So I'm no expert, but I just thought I would tell you all what it's like as somebody who doesn't really know a lot about meditation and what kind of impact it's having. It's weird. The colors on my screen are like kind of changing. I don't know why that is. So anyway, basically, the interesting thing about meditation for me is that you are very still and you acknowledge your thoughts. You don't just block them out and then you let them go. So in the process of doing this, it's been really interesting because when I meditate, I think about things that I haven't thought about in years. And I remember people. I start remembering people I used to work with when I was in my early 20s as a waiter. I start remembering my experiences at U of H, which I never think about U of H. I mean, I think about the handful of friends I made there, and I'm still relatively close to some of them, but I never think about those critical years. Those were very important years in my life. Sometimes I do think about my art class because that was really when I enjoyed U of H the most, was when I was taking art class. I had some amazing professors there and we got to do a lot of cool stuff, and mostly did painting and drawing. I got to take a sculpture class. It was just an awesome experience. It's really what made me motivated to go to school. But I was actually studying English and I enjoyed that too, but I really love art more. So anyway, the meditation has been interesting because I just start thinking about things that I forgot about. Like I was remembering time I was waiting for the bus when I was a waiter, and I had only made like $40 that night, so I couldn't exactly spend money on a cab, and I didn't have a cell phone. So it was basically like the last bus, and I think the bus driver was didn't see me, or he was just like done. He didn't look like he was very happy that day, so I think he was just ready to be done with his shift, so he did not stop for me. And so rather than try to figure out how to get a cab, which I could have done, I could have gone to the hotel because this is at the Galleria. I just ended up walking through the Gulfton Ghetto, which people are normally afraid of, but I was like, it's really not that scary. So I walked 3 miles to my apartment in Meyerland from the Galleria Mall, and it was actually kind of cool because initially I was terrified because I was female all by myself and it was like really late, but then it was like, this is not so bad, and I didn't see anybody in the street and no weird cars stop by me. I tried to stay far away from the road. I kind of, I don't remember every part of it, but where I could, I tried to avoid being close to the street. Anyway, so meditating, I just start thinking about these things, just random things, like random people I had forgotten about. And I think without meditation, sometimes my mind kind of goes in autopilot and I think about the same things over and over and over again, which is insanity. But the cool thing about meditation is I think about all these other things that were a big part of my life, just little tiny moments that I haven't thought about in years. Some of them are very positive, and then it's like, oh, I'm glad to remember that, and others are very upsetting. But the cool thing about meditation is you think about the thought and you're still, and I try to make it quiet. It's almost impossible. My dog is always making noise. Next door neighbors are sometimes like, I don't know what they're doing. It's like they're banging on the my bedroom wall all the time, or God knows what. I don't know. Maybe it's like my bedroom wall is like by their kitchen and they're like moving around furniture. I don't know what they're doing. But during the day it's fine. But at night sometimes maybe they're banging. I don't know. Sometimes they make a lot of noise. But sometimes it is really difficult to have it extremely quiet. So I'm just trying to learn to adapt. Okay, so it may not be 100% quiet. I can't control that. So I just have to learn how to meditate, even if there's, random noises and distractions. But the cool thing about it is basically I allow myself to think whatever comes to my mind, and then you just kind of like exhale and you let it go. And then sometimes my mind is just blank and I don't think about anything, but it's helped me to just the biggest way that meditation is helping me by far is with my anxiety. So that's why I'm a huge fan of it. I want to get better at it. And I'm sure everybody has their own experiences if you've meditated and what it means to you. We all have a different journey. And then also cutting out alcohol is probably having probably why my anxiety's gone down. I'm sure drinking excessively is then, whenever I drink excessively, then I feel guilt and shame about it. And so waking up and not having that guilt and shame is nice. So I'm going to try this detox for a month and see how it goes. And I'm sure I won't be completely 100%, on top of things every day, but like at least if I can do this most days for a month, then I will consider that a win. And also the other thing I wanted to say is when the pandemic first hit, my anxiety was just insane, like many other people. I was just worried about a lot of things. And so I was taking sleeping pills because I was having a hard time falling asleep at night. I was taking Advil PM, and I was just having these crazy nightmares. Now, before I just bash Advil PM, the good thing about Advil PM is I would take it and then it just kind of helped me. I don't know what's in Advil PM, but the next day it actually also helped me with my anxiety. So like it kind of just helped me chill out a little bit, which was great. But the problem, maybe the same experience some people have with weed. I did smoke weed a few times back in the day, but weed was just made me too unmotivated. It's just too extreme for me. But I'm an advocate of marijuana. I don't use it, but I think for some people it's definitely a great option. But anyway, so the Advil PM was great because I would take it and then the next day it kind of cut the edge a little bit and was not as anxious. But the problem is I would take it and have these insane nightmares that I would wake up and be like, did that just happen? Because they felt real. Like I had this one nightmare where I was trying to talk about some controversial topics, or I was just trying to talk about my past, and I was trying to speak, but I couldn't. Like it was like there was some like exterior thing that was like, as much as I tried to speak, like no words would come out of my mouth. I was just being silenced. And then I felt like paralyzed, like I couldn't move. Like I was being silenced in the nightmare and I couldn't move and I was trying to scream for help, but I didn't have the ability to even speak. That was one nightmare that was very chilling. The other nightmare was, this is going to sound really crazy. I had a nightmare that there was an alien trying to put a rod in my head, like they were trying to inject me with something. And I'm pretty sure I had that nightmare because I've been watching conspiracy theories about like the government one day like putting a chip in us. I don't know if any of that is true, but it kind of scares me because it mimics like 1984, and some people really believe it's going to happen, and some people say it's happened in other countries. So anyway, that to me is terrifying, having like a tracking device in me. And anyway, so in that nightmare, I literally woke up and I was literally screaming. I felt bad because I'm like, oh, probably woke up the neighbors. I was like, oh my God, I woke myself up screaming. I thought something was an alien, something was trying to put a rod inside my brain. Like, anyway, if some of you already thought I was crazy before, I'm sure you now are pretty certain that I am. But I think we're all crazy. I may be crazier than some, but meditation is definitely, I want to really incorporate it in my life. A lot of people have also told me to get into yoga. I've done yoga before. I used to figure skate, and to me, that was like my form of yoga, and that was very soothing and calming, and it was a very positive part of my life. So now I can't really figure skate right now, and so I really need to find something else I can do. So meditation will definitely be it, and maybe I'll try yoga. So I just wanted to share that with you all. If you have gotten into meditation and if it's helped you or if it hasn't or whatever your experience is, I'd love to hear it. So feel free to share. Have a great day, and I hope whatever everyone does something, well, all of my 2 viewers, I hope that you do something that brings you joy today and don't just stay trapped up in your apartment, but of course, follow the law and wear the mask and be safe, everyone. Cheers.